All right. I'm sitting here with Curtis Nooyen. He has recently joined the Spotlight Homes team here at Remax Platinum, and I've learned that you actually have a lot of construction stuff going on. You work with a builder, or you work with, well, how does this whole situation work? You work with Dream Homes, right?
Yeah, I work with, so the company is the Dream Home Group.
Okay.
If you want, I can give you just a quick.
Go for it. Tell me how this whole thing works.
So Discovery Dream Homes started about 25 years ago through the King family in Ontario. Ray King worked for his dad's company, and their focus was all log. And he thought, I want to do something beyond log and be able to give an experience that allows a client to do whatever they want. Fast forward 30 years later, we now have 6 companies within the Discovery Dream Home. So we've now shifted gears to be the Dream Home Group, where we've got Discovery Dream Homes, Vermont Timber Frames, which is the representation here in the U.S., and 3 other manufacturers. We've brought on an engineering team, and we've actually brought on an in-house building department team.
Nice. And so when I think about builders, I think about the big cookie cutter builders, the Lombardos and all of them out there that, they're going to build you a subdivision house.
Right.
And that's what you're going to get. That's not what you guys do.
Not at all.
Okay.
We are as unique as the individual that we're working with.
Perfect.
So I always like to tell clients that if you can imagine it, we can engineer it, and you know exactly what's going to be built because it came from you. So long as it can be engineered.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? We're not building, dreamland, Game of Thrones imaginary
Gotcha.
things. If so long as it can be engineer sealed and stamped, which we handle, it can be done.
Okay, cool. So, but you're a realtor.
I am.
Okay. And so this happens all of the time. I get this phone call, or one of the realtors in the office get this phone call. Hey, I want to buy a piece of land and I want to build my log cabin, or I want to build a unique house out on 10 acres, right? And those builders are those people that do that kind of work. They're a little bit few and far between, sometimes hard to get a hold of. And some of them are like, just random offshoot builders that'll say they can do it, but have never done it before, but they happen to have a license. All right. So in the world of real estate, there's so many different things that you can do as a realtor. You can sell commercial, you can sell residential, you can do vacant lands. I know, as being a broker of realtors, that they're not all good at all of that. So I want to build a house on a vacant land, and I want it to be my house, my home, my forever place. I should call you. I should give you a call.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So you bring the realtor in and you're looking for properties. How do you bring all of this together?
So you threw a lot at me there, which
Yeah.
is like awesome. And I just want to make sure I go back to some of it so that I can really, draw a full circle to answer your question. So one of the missing links for me doing what I do with the Dream Home Group was real estate. There was a service there that I noticed clients were coming up to me. Some would have land, which is great, right? Because that's what we know we need, but some didn't. And the ones that didn't, I was almost leading to the wilderness to say, once you find your property, come back to me. And that's where the real estate light bulb went off. Real estate's always something I've wanted to do ever since I was in high school. So I gave my owners a call and said, hey guys, I'm doing new business development here in Michigan. I see a golden opportunity for me to get into real estate so that I can offer an additional service to clients who don't have land to help them find it. So that's what really ticked the real estate checkbox off for me. I also didn't want to just put myself into one box. And this is going to come full circle
go for
to
it. Yeah.
expressing like the Dream Home Group was I didn't want to just get into real estate to sell land. I wanted to get into real estate because I enjoy helping people. I enjoy working with people. I am a huge people person. When you speak with builders, a lot of them aren't.
No.
Right?
No.
They build because that's what they're good at, right? A lot of them will, they don't have time for this emotional conversation, roller coaster, whatever you want to call it. So that's where now being part of the Dream Home Group comes into play. So whether a client comes to me who doesn't have land or has land, the conversation can start right away. And I can start setting up the process and the expectations with them so they understand right away. I'm here to hold your hand. I'm not here to sell you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to listen to what you want and let you know that no matter the vision, we can do it.
There's a lot of moving pieces right in that beginning part, right?
Yes.
And there's going to be so much confusion and so many questions.
Yes.
Like, how do you orchestrate this whole thing?
That's, a great question. And for anybody who is saying I can do it on my own, listen to this. A lot of times you're going to go into this thinking you know what it's going to be like. And then you realize that there are applications to fill out, permits to run, zoning, building codes, and it can almost feel over daunting and stressful. And you go, you know what? Maybe I'll go to the residential neighborhood and just buy a pre-built or a spec home. And we're far different from that. But we pride ourselves, again, I mentioned, you're going to hear me say service a lot, because at our core, that's who we are. We are a service provider. I tell a lot of clients right off the bat, have you ever been to a symphony? Do you notice how a symphony is orchestrated by a conductor? And he is guiding the whole night to play out so that you get to sit in the audience and enjoy it. Well, think of me as a conductor.
I like that analogy
right?
a lot. That's awesome.
I'm allowing how many people can be in a symphony? Hundreds?
Yeah,
right?
sure.
That's a lot to manage.
Yeah.
But it's all being controlled by the conductor. So now that client doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to go and figure out how to play all these instruments in order to build my home. So that guidance that we provide, like, again, first conversation, hey, I have land. What do I do now? Let's hear more about what you're envisioning. Where is the property? How long have you had it for? You know, did it get handed down for you? Because a lot of times too, like when you're building something that's this custom, it means a lot to an individual. So trust is big, right? I tell clients all the time, I'm not selling you a home. I'm guiding you so that we can create your vision together and you get to see it through.
Man, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. It reminds me of this whole like thing, like, hey, you could be a flashlight or you can be a lighthouse, right? Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the guy doing this and all that, like oh, look over there, or do you want to just be keeping people safe from the storm, right? From the shoreline. And those kinds of individuals, they show up when you need them. And so if there's anybody out there that's listening to this and you don't have vacant land, or you already have vacant land, or I don't know, I'm going to throw this one at you. You had a builder kind of bail on you, because that happens. You know, there are individuals that can calm down everything. And even though you're in the middle of a storm and you're confused, I think Curtis here is basically saying he can be that lighthouse and keep you safe in the storm that you're in and kind of calm everything down, get you to that symphony.
Yes.
Where it's like, I can sit back and relax.
Right.
I can build my dream home. I can build my forever home, and I don't have to be afraid of what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if we weren't that lighthouse, we wouldn't be called the Dream Home Group. We'd be called the Nightmare Group.
Right. Dude, so many times, like, you know, we kind of started this conversation before because like you'd found out that I was a builder in my past and all of that. And that was the reason I said it, is because that was one of the main phone calls I'd get is like, this guy's not showing up. I haven't talked to this person in 2 months. I don't know what's going on. And there's all this chaos. And being the person that is customer service first, that is like, hey, let me calm you down.
Right.
Let me help you out. Let me figure this out with you. Like, you just give people won't remember the problem that you helped them solve. They'll remember that they trusted you to help them solve the problem. And it's that trust that lingers. They won't remember the issue. They won't be like, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened. At least I don't. My brain doesn't hold on to that stuff. Well, they remember, when I was in chaos, this person brought calm to my life. And that's who they refer, and that's who they remember, and that's who they're like, remember Curtis when he helped us build our house or helped us figure this out? Like, isn't that, we should give that guy a call, or we should send him a note for his birthday or whatever. These are relationships.
Exactly.
And I feel like the world of construction, the world of wanting to build your own home that is not cookie cutter, is full of it, full of the chaos. And I appreciate you showing up and talking about, no, I'll be your conductor. We can figure this out. We'll help calm you down and we'll get you going.
Right.
You know, what is the craziest? I'm going to throw this at you. What is the, not the craziest, what is your favorite build that you've ever been a part of, you've ever seen? Was there anything cool? Was there any awesome log cabins? Like, what is it? What was your favorite?
I think the one that stands out the most to me, I mean, gosh, it's such a great question, because, you know, the real answer is that every project is just as exciting.
You answered that like a realtor, man. Because it's true, because every realtor, every transaction is like, no, I loved this part. I loved this part. you know?
Again, because every project we do is so unique.
Yeah.
We do wilderness projects out in the woods. I've been a part of projects where we're on the back, like the 16th green of a golf course. I've done projects where we're overlooking the dunes. Like I have a project right now under construction that is on the dunes looking over Lake Michigan.
Sleepy Bear?
No, it's right in Manistee.
Oh, sweet. Sweet.
And propped right up on the dunes, overlooking Lake Michigan, a beautiful timber build. And lo and behold, I've had a conversation with this individual who plans to sell his home. And I asked him, who are you working with to sell your home? I'm in real estate. And he goes, I'd love you to sell my home.
Yeah. So the whole thing that I'm hearing is that if you want to build your own home, custom home, you've got like starting with you.
Yes.
Start here because
Yeah.
like the confusion can get cleaned up. The whole process, now that you've added the real estate piece
Sure.
to what it is that you guys do at Vermont,
Yeah.
it's like the whole thing. Is it the whole thing? Is it all wrapped?
I like to tell people, think of us as a white glove service, right? We are a premium product. So the first conversation is, tell me about you.
Hmm.
What got you here? What are you thinking? And just asking the questions and listening and writing that down. It's me getting a show and tell meeting from you, right? And then oftentimes conversations will go where I'm asking a lot of questions about them and they're asking a lot of questions about me, about our company. And, again, service. At our core, we design and send out pre-manufactured material for log and timber that go into a home. But then we also provide everything to get the client a buttoned-up shell for their home, which includes doors, windows, siding, soffit, fascia, roofing material, stud frames, floor joists, floorboard, trusses, you name it. Everything that needs to be engineered to build the shell of that home and get it to a closed-in stage. So that's what we do.
Okay.
But who we are is a service company. So we have an in-house design team of 12 in-house designers that all come with their specialties of projects that they can take on. So if I'm talking to somebody who wants to do something modern, somebody who wants to do something traditional, somebody who wants to do like an A-frame style, somebody who wants to do a chalet style, somebody who wants to do something that doesn't incorporate any log or timber at all. We've worked with a client who was in the steel business. So every beam that they had that we would typically showcase as a timber frame, he said, no, I want to use steel beams. We did it. The design team is linked with the engineering team. The engineering team is linked to the production team. The production team is linked to our logistics team because we run our own trucks. Our logistics team is linked with the building department. Our building team, though we're not the builder on projects, we are very good at vetting builders because we build in, I've mentioned so many different locations and areas. It's hard to have a builder to say, oh yeah, we've got, ABC builder and he's done all these builds with us. It's very often where we say our building team has looked in your area and has essentially interviewed builders that we would suggest to work with on your build based on what you're doing and their expertise. We don't want to ever hand over a project to a builder where our level of service is, that of what you would expect at a, premium car builder. Like you're not going to go from working at Porsche to then get handed over a builder who, would be working at a used car lot and service doesn't matter to him.
Yeah.
That we would never suggest that. So our goal too is linking the project to a reputable builder so that the client isn't left now going, okay, I worked with this great company. Now I've got this builder and it's a nightmare. At the end of the day, what we try to do is give you at least 2 to choose from, preferably 3, but sometimes remote areas, we don't have that ability, but preferably 3. And then we tell our client, as much as the relationship that you and I had was important, this one's just as important because now this is the person that you're essentially going to be married to upwards of the next 2 years based on what you're building, who's going to take everything that we send to the job site and build. So right away, it's, the client understands, well, you're not just, you're not just materials that I can go and source on my own.
Right.
Again, you're a white glove service. You bring it all together. We do the drawings for the blueprints to submit to the township. If the builder needs to run those, if the client wants to run those, if they need guidance running those, like everything comes with guidance. Every stage comes with here's what you can expect next.
Yeah. Man, that's fantastic. So, like beginning to end, you're going to start with you're going to end with a builder, but the whole process is like orchestrated by you guys.
Yeah, it's guided right away so that because I would say the biggest hurdle or maybe the biggest obstacle to overcome with clients is they see all these beautiful projects that we've done, but then they hear you're not the builder.
Yeah.
How does that work? And they get a little bit confused. So there is some conversation that needs to be had there to say, yeah, you're not tied to a individual. You get choice. And choice in the matter is really what we pride ourselves on. We've mentioned spec homes, right? You can build a custom home in a spec home, but you have, what's your variety? 3 options to choose
Yeah.
from in some
Yeah.
cases?
Pick your
maybe
colors
5.
and countertops.
Yeah.
Right.
Pick your counters and countertops of these 3 or 5 that we've offered you.
Right.
Right. Where I tell a client, so you asked me a question about what is the coolest project or the one that stands out. When I was doing a home tour with a client that wanted to build a log home. It wasn't my project, but it was a client who had built with us, and he had built a home where it was, I'll open my home to anybody who is, able to build. And it was like walking into a chalet at a ski lodge by the Marriott.
Wow.
Or give me a higher end, not the Marriott. Give me a high end hotel, Shangri-La.
I stayed all Marriott's because I don't have that.
It was
I'm cheap.
It was like being at a Shangri-La in if the Shangri-La built something at a ski lodge. It had this guy was a storyteller, a collector. He had literally a Great Gatsby style bar in his living room that would make you feel like you were sitting at a speakeasy.
That's cool.
But it gave you the warmth that you were in this beautiful log cabin with floor to ceiling windows. He was a chef. He had a kitchen that was a sub-zero fridge that was probably the size of this wall, maybe half of it. And the kitchen was for display. He had a pantry, what I call a pantry, what he called like the prep kitchen, where that's where the flour, like that's where everything was getting made. But everything was presented, in the kitchen, that as soon as you walked through the foyer of the front door, you were met with the kitchen to the right. So the elegance of this home, the warmth you got from the rich mahogany wood, the ambiance that he said, it was amazing. And then he was able to tell these stories, and he had a speakeasy up in the loft of his garage where you literally pushed in a bookcase and it spun around, and then you were in these leather chairs looking at a bar that was filled of any whiskey,
and your
bourbon you could think of.
Yeah, and your track home, your builder or your supplier that's going to put together your normal subdivision house, you're not getting bookcases that spin around into a speakeasy. You're not getting second kitchens inside of pantries, all of that stuff.
Right.
Okay, so I'm understanding the whole thing now. But
you're typically not even touching that level of like innovation,
even conceptually, you're not there.
Exactly,
yeah, you're not there.
So that's where the builder is important, right? I want a builder where if I ask him, hey, how many projects are you doing a year, and they tell me 6, I would hope this guy's got at least 3 teams.
Yeah, right.
I like to hear that we do 2, 3.
Yeah. Right.
Because now I know your attention to detail is there.
Yes, exactly. Like those guys, like you've got the ones that can say, yeah, I do like 1 project a year. And it's like, yeah, because you don't show up to work. And then there's the other ones. That build like 400 houses a year. And it's like, okay, so you're not paying attention to anything.
Yeah, there's,
they're the ones that you're walking through with the blue painter's tape and like, well, you got to fix that before I close, right? Those are those guys. And so your guys are looking for the like, no, I build a couple a year because I'm building this. This is what I'm building.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm building a legacy home.
You know what you make me think of is that old analogy that goes, a jack of all trades is a master of none.
Right.
Right. And so, so you've got the real estate side and then you've got your design side, and each one of these pieces you've got a different team for. And when I've worked with custom builders in the past, it was one guy that tried to do every single thing. Right. And it's like, wait a minute, man, how are you sourcing these materials? How are you doing this? How are you doing that? Like, what's behind you helping? No, I just got connections. Okay, I want to give you $2 million right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, if you
Like,
understand
do
that,
you feel more comfortable with that guy? Or
no,
you say you
because
don't?
what I'm saying is no. I'm saying no because each person, when it comes to this kind of a thing, each field has experts and they're experts in that field, the
Right.
design side, the architects and
Right.
engineers and sourcing and logistics and even the building. And it's like, you don't want to work with the one guy that shows up,
Right.
and it's just like, no, it's me. I'm the one man crew.
Sure.
You want to work with the, like, no, I have a whole team behind me. The truck that's delivering the I-beam because you don't want wood in your house, I have that guy back here in logistics.
Sure.
We're not going to have to figure that out at some point. Like
Right.
that's part of the process. So anyway,
Well, and you hit a word there that I love to use.
what's that?
Team.
Yeah.
Right. We're a team at the Dream Home Group, and we create a team working relationship with the builder. So a lot of hang up too with clients who might be maybe hesitant to move forward is, why wouldn't I just go work with the builder? Right. Or some builders would say, you're cutting into my revenue. Right. A builder that says you're cutting into my revenue is a builder that, one, I likely wouldn't recommend anyways, because you just told me right off the bat that you're running up numbers. So what builders love about us is kind of everything that you just mentioned. If there's a problem, we shine, right? We've got a lifetime warranty that we pride ourselves on in our package that is in writing, right? It's not just we have a lifetime warranty. That includes everything that we provide to the build: doors, windows, soffit fascia. Even though we didn't manufacture it, we farm those relationships with those companies. And again, we're talking premium, right?
Yeah.
We're talking Pella for windows, Sierra Pacific for windows, just to name a few right there. But the resources that we have in play, what builders love about us is, I'm not rifling through stacks of 2x to find a straight stud so I can do the wall. It's grab and go, because it's all list material studs that we're getting. It's all hand selected.
Right.
So we're getting what a lot of stores don't get, because we get that first.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to the Home Depot?
Oh, dude.
Like I was building a TV backdrop for our basement, and my brother-in-law went, and we needed, I want to say it was 12 2x4s. We looked through the bin of 2x4s. We had to pull every one and make sure it was straight. Right. And it was like, that could kind of work. Whereas with ours, it's like, grab a stack.
Yeah.
Maybe one's not good and you toss that off. We pad a package with a 15% yield, knowing that not everything's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're going to pad the package so that everything that you get is a guarantee that the package that you signed, you're getting that material to build that home.
Yeah, if you went to Home Depot and you just trusted them to pick your 2x4s for you, you're going to need a lot more than a 15% pad.
Right.
Because all that stuff is going to,
of course.
Yeah.
Well,
it's going to look like a bonsai tree.
And also, so you think time, how much time that wastes just on that one thing.
Yeah.
That's just one thing, right? So the builder that, considers himself that Swiss Army knife, it's like, great. But
he's also going to Menards or going to Home Depot.
Sure.
He's going to one of these places, and he's going to have some, program that says, you need this much stuff to do this thing. And then he goes there, hands it to them. They hand pick it, and then maybe some delivery guy drops it off.
Sure.
But it's all the bottom end of all of that.
Right. Can't even call it builder grade in some
You can't
cases.
even call it builder grade and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I've seen that stuff dropped off before by those Home Depot delivery guys. It's
not
quality stuff.
It's not good. Another thing too is, Mr. Builder, wouldn't you rather just know that you can go to a job site and not have to worry about what's coming today, because all that's been taken care of by a logistics department, which we have? All you're doing is, we're creating the builder schedule with you. You're approving what you want to come and when. And if things get backed up, hey, how does a weekly phone call sound? How does a bi-weekly phone call sound to get a progress report? Are we still good to send you windows on this day? No, I need to back that up 2 weeks. Done. You don't have to worry about any R&D. You don't have to worry about any of the logistics of building. I ask you this question. Have you ever run into a situation where you're building for somebody, you go to order something, at the time you sign the contract, let's use windows, for example.
Mm.
You sign the contract, and I'm just going to use an easy number. The windows were going to be $100,000 for the home that you're building.
Yeah.
You go to order those windows, you're typically going to run, a cost plus 15, maybe 20 on those windows. So let's say they were going to be 115,000, but window prices just went up, right? What do you do now?
Well, I have to take it back to the client and say, hey, cost of construction went up. We have to order this new stuff. We have to do an adjustment to our contract, and we've got to add $15,000 to the bill, $20,000, whatever that is. And
what do you think that does to the client who signed a contract with you to build for a price? What does that one scenario, because this happens a lot
all the time,
right? What does that tell that client?
Well, that you don't know what you're doing. Like that you don't know what you're doing, that you underbid the job just to get the job so that you can show up just to start. Like everybody feels locked in, right? Once one guy has already started the job, it's like, well, I can't fire him. He's already done this. It's the sunk cost paralysis, right? And it's like, I've already started here. I've got to finish here.
Right.
I mean, I've seen and heard there's one down the street, and I'm not going to talk about whom, whatever, but the price started out at $300,000, right? At the end, when it was done, it was $615,000. Did you imagine how terrible you would feel? Like, and this was just an ADU unit, additional dwelling unit. And it's like, wait a minute, I signed a contract with you for $300,000, and now I've got to come up to $615,000. Also, what if I don't have that money? I got a project half done, and that does fall on the builder for not having the right sourcing, not locking in those prices and all of that. But that's what's going to happen when you go to that jack of all trades guy. Because he's not ordering his finished trim for you day one and getting that price locked in. Right. You know what I mean? Like during COVID, I mean, we're getting a little off track, but during COVID, the cost of materials went nuts.
Yeah, that was a wild time for anybody.
It was. It really was. But imagine, like, I don't know, you start with, and you're like, okay, I'm going to pay $3 a linear foot for just basic trim. And then all of a sudden I come back to you, it's like, hey, your 8,000 square foot house, it's going from $3 per linear foot to $7 because I misquoted or I'm going to lie and say the prices went up. Is like, dude, that's insane that happens to people all the time.
So to bring it back to my point, and I'm glad that you mentioned all of that, because it happens
all the time,
right? You're human. We make all of that. But the mention you gave of I underpriced to get the job. I'm now 30% into the project. I'm ordering the things that I need. Of course, prices have gone up. I need to cover my overhead, my expenditures, what I'm making on the project. So I have to go and bring that back to the client and say, hey, windows just went up, whatever the case may be. This is one thing that I love to tell our clients is that when our package, you mentioned 300,000. So if our package for everything you need to build is 300,000, that number does not change. If window prices go up, they go up. That's on us, right? We eat that. I mentioned lifetime warranty. You've got product from us at that 300,000 that is a lifetime warranty to you. Meaning in 15 years from now, I've got an issue with my windows. Let's have a look, send us some pictures, like all of that. But when things go wrong, we shine. We pride ourselves on designing and having a home built that shouldn't be serviced throughout your lifetime, right? That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that should an issue happen, we've got you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Right? There's so many issues that I see that you guys are covering that from being from the world of building, it's like, oh, so you've got that, like the price is going up. You've got the lifetime warranty thing. You've got like you really truly are, since you're even helping find the builder at the end, you really are. It's the whole process going on. And then you're working with the builder to deliver the product. Yeah. And if they're behind, you're having the conversations to say, okay, so this needs to be 2 weeks later then, right? Yeah. Dude, that is.
Yeah. And what I tell clients too is I go from driving the truck at the beginning. Once the builder gets involved, so once we start shipping to the job site, I move from the driver to the passenger seat. I'm still involved. Yeah. But he's the one now that's driving the truck, right? So in that, Mr. and Mrs. Client, the conversations I'm having right now are with the builder. I represent the client. So I'm letting the builder know if there's an issue, you're going to call me first. Yeah. we're gonna talk it out. We're gonna come up with a proposition or a solution or whatever the case may be. 9 times out of 10, client doesn't even have to know about it.
Yeah.
Right? Why bring a client into something that literally is like, does it change anything? No. Okay, then let's just do it. If we're changing something, right? So the utility closet, the utility isn't going to work there. We need to move that. We need to let the client know. Right?
Yeah, that's orchestrating the whole
Right.
thing. Like you don't need to know that, the trombone just lost his mouthpiece. It's like that doesn't need to
Sure.
your enjoyment, the whole process doesn't matter.
Right.
Like I'm still up here directing and then I'm causing that to get fixed. You can still enjoy the show.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I love this. This has been a great conversation. I learned so much, honestly.
I think there's a lot here that we can build on too, because I mean, we've essentially we got real estate covered and how that works. I let you know how we operate as a company from the starting, but I'd love to get into conversations of, okay, we've bought the land, now what?
Yeah.
Right? Hey, we've put in our deposit with you to get going on a design. Now what? I'd like to get into those conversations a little bit more because I feel like we left so much meat on the bone here
We can
to
get
dive into for some other topics and conversations that I look forward to having.
Yeah, well, for sure. Let's get into all of that stuff. So pay attention. We're going to continue these conversations over the next couple weeks. So hopefully some of the stuff you just mentioned, you might want to catch those podcasts as they come out. But Curtis, man, you got something else to say? What do you got?
Well, just, a reminder. Again, my name's Curtis Nooyen. I am one of the newer members on the Spotlight Home team, working with Remax Platinum. Everything has been awesome so far. Really love the energy. I love the vibe of this office. I love that you guys have set up this, think creative, think outside of the box.
Yeah.
Which, we
get in trouble sometimes, but it's fine.
I don't think we're doing anything illegal.
No, well, right? No, nothing illegal. I'm going to say on camera.
Nothing that gets us in real estate jail. But then to segue that into Vermont Timber Frames and the Dream Home Group, we think outside of the box. We are unique. We are creative. We build a one-of-a-kind home. We give a one-of-a-kind experience. And so I'm excited that I've now bridged those two together in a way that, lets anybody know that I'm working with, we got you. You're part of a team when you work with myself and our team, and you become part of a family when I'm working with somebody with that mindset. And family to me is number one. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a coach. I'm a realtor.
Yep.
And I'm a home designer.
Yep. That's fantastic, man. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing these episodes. And honestly, if you guys if there's anybody out there that has a question, wherever you're finding this video, just comment on it. And Curtis and I can try to get to answering those easily.
Comments would be great. DMs, of course. But yeah, no question is silly, or I hate to use the word dumb.
Yeah.
But, if you have a question, put it out there.
Yeah. For sure.
Because I'm sure somebody else is thinking the same thing.
Yeah, almost always.
You just have the guts to say it.
All right. Well, cool.
All right.
Wrap this one up.
Thanks again, Rob.
All right, guys. Peace.
We'll see you next time.